So when we were conducting the checks over here itself, we heard this creaking noise coming from the dashboard, and then we detected 3 puppies and 1 kitten concealed inside the dashboard.
宠物走私日益猖獗，执法机构极力取缔。
So for smuggled animals, we keep them here for a number of months, and in that period, we are constantly assessing them to not only look out for clinical signs of rabies, but we're also concerned about other infectious diseases.
宠物走私案中受害的是动物，罪魁祸首是不法商家，但买家也可能是帮凶。
But if you buy from those unknown source, by the time 你跟他讲你的狗生病要死掉了 ，what they would do right, they will block you, they wouldn't even reply you already.
新加坡人对宠物的需求不断攀升，因此由宠物走私者铤而走险，通过非法途径带着动物硬闯关卡。违法入境的动物可能危害本地的自然生态。关卡人员作为第一道防线，是如何把走私者挡在关卡之外？我带着摄像镜头走到幕后，请稽查官向我们解释。
So this is our 100% inspection pit where we will conduct our checks on vehicles such as this, where they have been directed for further checks. So first up, we will look at the car boot. Certain places that we actually have found animals in, right? It can just be simply they actually hit the animals in the spare tire compartment. So another area that we can actually focus on will be the passenger seat. Okay, it could just be underneath the passenger seat, or if you can see over here, although this car is the seat pocket is actually transparent, right? Other cars can be leaded kind. Okay, so they just put the animal inside. So to share a recent case, in April this year, my team actually detected this one particular situation where this arriving Malaysian registered car was stopped for further checks. So when we were conducting the checks over here itself, we heard this creaking noise coming from the dashboard. So the team actually dismantled the dashboard, and then we detected 3 puppies and 1 kitten concealed inside the dashboard.
NParks work very closely with our partner agencies like ICA. So whenever there's any detection of suspected cases of smuggling across the checkpoint, our NParks team will come down to the checkpoint to process the scene, ensure that the animals are brought to the animal quarantine center for vet assessment. For January to June this year, we have 33 cases of detection on animal smuggling. When these animals are smuggled and transported into Singapore, they are usually packed or kept in very cramped and tight spaces, which does not provide adequate ventilation and directly compromises their welfare. And worse still, because of the way they are concealed in tight spaces, they are always in close proximity, which actually encourages the spread of diseases between them.
在关卡被查获的走私动物会直接送来我身后的动物检疫中心接受观察。那我们现在要进去向工作人员了解他们是如何照顾暂放在里头的小动物。What's his name?
You all can name him. We don't have a name for him.
Oh, then it's fine. Hello, handsome.
This is one of our smuggled animals that we have already in our care. So usually, even after the first day after they arrive, we will still do regular checkups on them. So this particular French Bulldog, he's due for a vaccination and also his monthly parasite treatment. So we're just going to scan his microchip just to double check we're having the right dog with us today. So we've verified that based on the microchip number, this is the correct dog that needs vaccination. So as part of the regular checkup, we will also take the weight of the dog just to see whether he's gaining weight, losing weight. Okay, so he's about 2. Oh, he's very wiggly, so we take it as 2.2. Okay. For these animals on arrival, they actually get worming treatment or parasite treatment, both internal and external. So we're concerned about worms or any fleas or ticks on their body. Again, we don't know their history, so we usually just provide them a dose of the treatment. But as they're kept in the quarantine, every month we will also provide routine treatment. So this makes sure that they're continuously protected. Okay, and that's done.
为幼犬检查完毕后，陈医生接着带我们走入检疫中心幕后，参观小动物们的隔离区。
Okay, so over here is our dog isolation rooms. This is where we usually keep our smuggled animals because we have unknown health status, so they are of higher disease risk. So this is the Frenchie that we were examining earlier. So he might look perfectly healthy now, but we cannot completely rule out whether or not he's carrying that disease. But we'll continue to monitor him, and only after the quarantine period is over, and if he still looks like this, then we're happy to rehome him. Okay, finish.
Finished.
Wow, Sean, where's this place?
So over here, this is our cat isolation. So similar to the dog isolation, is physically separate from the main catteries and kennels lah. The catteries are designed with additional features. So actually, we have a panel over here. This helps us to track that the rooms are of negative pressure. So this reduces the chance of the disease actually coming out into the corridor and then going into another kennel.
Right.
Or cattery in this case.
So how long will a smuggled animal be kept here for?
Rabies has a long incubation period. So an animal that appears healthy for just a couple of weeks, we cannot actually confidently rule out that this animal doesn't have rabies because it might still be incubating the disease. It might be only a few weeks or maybe a few months later on that it shows the disease. So for that reason, we actually quarantine them for a number of months. Thankfully, in Singapore, we have actually been rabies-free since 1953. But we are wary that in our region and in many other countries abroad, rabies is endemic. Without any known health statuses of these animals, without any known vaccination records or medical history for these illegally brought in animals, they carry an even higher threat of disease incursion into Singapore. And again, that risk of rabies remains. And after, if they are assessed to be clinically healthy, so then they're able to be released from quarantine. And what happens to the animals after that is we work very closely with our rehoming partners to find them a new home, essentially.
Here you come, up. Yeah, good boy. Where's the diaper?
动物福利组织 Voices for Animals 与官方有多年合作经验，帮助不少被走私的宠物找到新归宿。创办人陈嘉欣受访时透露，网络零售带来的便利，间接将宠物推向被走私的厄运。
Because I've actually encountered so many friends that they actually brought from those unknown source. The only time they will call me after that is when the dog is sick. Derek, my dog is very sick. Bloody diarrhea, how? Well, since when you get it? Oh, then they sent me this IG group. Then I said, wow, this one is in Malaysia leh. Yeah, they sent to my house one. Then I go, you know Smuggled Puppy, right? We don't know leh. Yeah, now you know lor. 如果你是在一个a registered pet store 买的话 at any point in time, if your dog has got issue or medical condition, right, you can go to the pet store. But if you buy from those unknown source, right, by the time 你跟他讲你的狗生病要死掉了 what they would do, right, they'll block you. They wouldn't even reply you already. But the buying is so common and so easily obtained, like you can go online that all this pet page, right, then they will actually put as delivery to Singapore to your doorstep. So, and of course 这些会比较便宜一点 but if you get it from those unknown source, right, if 如果那个狗你其实害到一个 innocent, because you see, right, all this innocent being, right, that were being smuggled in, right, they actually went through a lot 就是 like maybe 10只进来5只死掉 it is pretty cruel 啦 because of you're trying to save money.
宠物业者从海外进口宠物必须经过合法的流程和渠道。负责运输宠物入境新加坡的搬运公司发言人受访时强调，整个运输过程都由专业人士协调，才能确保动物的福利得到妥当照料。
It takes about 7 days for all the paperwork to be done. And then, of course, after crossing the border, you have to send it to the quarantine center for quarantine, and that's 30 days. In summary, it takes approximately about 1 month plus. To ensure the welfare of the pet during the transportation process, you have to make sure that your pet carrier, all right, is of a size that is big enough for the pet to be able to turn around inside the carrier. All right, that's one of the requirements. And of course, you must make sure that the carrier has got water and ventilation. So these are the things that some pet relocation companies will take great pains to ensure. All these things can endanger the life of a pet. So we are talking really about the safety of the pet here.